Hello, how are you guys doing? This is Miho from Canada. Hope your mental health and body is a really good state. Today I was thinking about worry and how to get rid of these worries, especially for the money. For some people who lost a job or don't know what's gonna go, during this time, and or got laid off or really slowed down, so you worry about the money, paying the bills, those realistic things that is happening still during your life. And it's so true, when you think about money, lack of the money, it really gives you so much stress. And then it reminded me of the last summer. I thought this is inspiration, but anyway, in reality, we had no money. But I decided to take this investment to myself to study or learn things. Then, after the fact, I realized we cannot make this payment. And the thing is, I wasn't on my own. So the whole income is going to be used for the family to support. And my daughter was in university, which took a lot of chunk out of it. And I was investing to myself the big chunk of money that I've never invested it before, where there's no money for it. That meant I was spending the money that there was no money. Of course, the bank account goes down really fast. And I was so scared of not being able to make the payment. Like, what's going to happen? Like, I cannot work anymore. I cannot, get like extra income. And my husband is working full time. And, the kids to support and a house to look after and all the bills, blah, blah, blah. And I just started to really panicky. And I couldn't sleep. Like, I'm the kind of person who sleeps anywhere, anytime, no matter what. That me couldn't sleep because the money worries were taking over my whole thoughts, whole soul, whole body. And it really hurt my body. And I started to have the physical pain as well. Of course, in my heart and the mind was occupied with how to manage with this limited source of income for the huge amount of bills. And I literally understood that the pain and disappear and like the difficulties and almost like you cannot breathe normally. That meant you cannot really function well in your during days of activities because you constantly worry about it. And of course, for my husband, he was just beyond, like he just couldn't understand or couldn't take it. And I thought he's going to be so mad. He was mad, but at the same time, he just couldn't take it. He's worried so much. But I couldn't take it back, so I had to live with it and decided I take the loan from the bank. So I took all my paperwork. I've never done this before, just for myself, but I think to myself, okay, I'm gonna learn something new, as if like I become a student, and I will pay, as I go, no matter what. It might take years, but I will do it that way. So when I start shifting a thought that, okay, what am I going to do? Like, instead of looking at the bank account, which doesn't help because the number just going down and you're not doing anything to contribute. So it really just gives you a lot more stress than anything else. But I didn't know what to do. All I thought was like, what am I going to do? Every single moment. So I decided to shift my mind, not to focus too much on the numbers, too much on the money. Money is energy. Like, everything on this earth is energy, including you. So when you have more energy, you attract more things because your force is stronger. So I thought, okay, when I operate in this worrisome, like low energy level, it attracts the low energy frequency events. So I need to shift from there. Even though I really blamed myself and I felt guilty for it, but I thought, okay, I'm borrowing it. It's from the future me. And whether I make it or not, to become a tangible wins from this investment, or maybe just the waste of money and the time, but you just don't know what's going to turn out. But I thought, okay, at least now I can shift my mind not to focus on these numbers, the money. So I did. I tried focus on things that I could do to improve or grow. And when you shift that focus, it's there. Your worry is there, but you're not entirely looking at this. So your focus is more of what you can do to become the best version of you, or what you can do to improve. So you spend less of this money part, and things start to sort of move along. And I had excess money, or the gift money, not much, but somehow it just all worked out. We paid the bills, clear, but somehow from where I started, things happened for you to ease things out. So shifting focus is very important to get out of this certain level of consciousness up to the level that you want to be. And it's in an ongoing process, and you learn so much along the way. And you just don't know. Time will tell. What you've done is good or bad, but you just don't focus on the numbers like I used to do, which makes me feel so tight and stressful and made my body ache. And my mood was really down all the time. I was always constantly worried, because I was giving off that energy, right? So that, of course, the events come to me are all those worried related events, and then I worry more. So it's kind of vicious cycle. And knowing this cycle, you have the way to get out too. So I'm doing a trial myself too, to see how this goes. But shifting the focus is very important, and also applies to the people too. Like when you focus on people who worry about money, for instance. Yesterday we talked about the money issues because we had to pay so much bills, and we kind of managed it, but it's not, like excess money left over, but just barely managing it. And, my husband started to say what happened to people who lost a job, or no income, or less income, how they're going to make, this blah, blah, blah. And it's so true. But when you really start to going with it, your energy level will go down because you worry, right? So I decided not to go along with it because I knew how painful that is. It really makes you feel so tight and stressful, and gives off a toxic energy. So I just said, oh, what would you like to eat tonight? Would you eat this? It kind of shifted, right? Because you can talk about all you want about the lack of money and scarcity, but you're not really focusing on things that you could do to improve, or do something different, which is more important than talk about the lack of the money, right? Anyway, so I decided to do those shifting process myself, and also for people who sucks the energy out of you. Like you might encounter people who withdraw a lot of energy out of you, and you feel so drained and tired. And for instance, my mother, she set her thermostat, the standard level, as how bad she feels. So when I ask her, how are you doing? How's your health? She starts from how bad she feels. So her scale is like how bad she feels since yesterday. So it's not always a good thing to talk about daily things, because she always finds something to complain about how bad it is. So I quickly shift, the conversation to the kids stuff or something else. Okay? So it's important to set your thermostat to a certain level. Like if you set it cheerfulness and happy as your standard, you try to bring it up to that standard level. Versus people who set the standard level where it's always no good or feel unhealthy or not going well, you automatically set to that point. So if you want to be a positive or say something nice, you really have to raise your effort to the really top, so which takes so much effort. So you tend to bring it down to how bad you feel all the time. So it's important to set your thermostat to the level where you want it to be, so that you always bring it back to that level. If you set it in a happy and peace and like harmonized mode, and something happens when you're shifted from this thermostat level, you try to bring it down or bring it up. So between a choice of negative and a positive, I chose positive. I see both, and it depends how you feel, but it's your choice to choose either positive or negative ways, and it's your that's your freedom to choose, right? So when you set it, the positive way, you tend to focus on what's positive. Because when you start to looking into people's fault, because we are not perfect, no matter what, you cannot please 100% for 100% people, because it always has fault. So when you start looking those bad things or traits or fault, it makes me feel so bad, right? So I don't like doing that. So I focus on good things, just for my sake. So that's how I look at it, and it's nothing special. This is a learned skill. So you set your conscious level to a certain point, and you could shift this as your life goes on, because you learn certain skills or certain experience, and then you can shift or step up. And it's always an ongoing process, and you just don't know where you're gonna lead. I think that's part of life, that you're unfolding to the point where you just be surprised. Along the way, you need to have this peace and harmonized within you. And that's where you find a center of yourself and you feel so comfortable with. Because you always look at people who are succeeding or doing something better than you, and it's just endless of them, right? And then you wish you could be like them, but they have their own life, own brought up stories and experience, so you cannot copy exactly that person. So it's good to have as a goal, or like a figure that you wanted to achieve, but you start where you're at, and that's your journey, it's your style, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same, and it won't be, because we are all different, right? Slightly different to really different. So that's the unique part of human beings. So when you feel like little stressed or isolated or worrisome, back to the center, bring yourself to alignment with yourself, and then just let go of those worries or let go of those feelings that's not yours, and center yourself. And besides, you're so good as is, just breathing and exist. You don't need to be somebody special. You don't need to aim really high. And it's just be. It's good enough. So you tell that to yourself and you embrace you're doing so well. You're improving every single day. Just be. And when you find that peace, harmonized point, it's coming within you and it radiates and you start to shine. Like you have the light in yourself and you have the power to do things that you love to do. It's all within you. There's just so many things that are attached to you so you don't see it, including me. So you embrace yourself, saying to yourself, you're doing really well. Like you are. Just be, exist. That's a lot of work, right? So just be kind to yourself. And if you want to keep going and you have the vision that you wanted to do, you will do it. But the way you do it, the pace you do it, it all depends. And some people seems to be doing so well, so fast, but things that you don't know is they might have certain experience in that area and you might not. So you cannot really compare yourself to the others, to the exact. So just embrace yourself. You say to yourself, you're doing great. Okay, so have a great day. See you soon.